The Middle East is once again at the center of global attention as a series of coordinated attacks on energy infrastructure and commercial vessels has pushed the region closer to a broader conflict. What began as targeted strikes has rapidly escalated into a confrontation with serious implications not just for regional stability, but for the global economy. In the early hours of March 19, a vessel sailing near one of the world's most sensitive maritime zones came under attack. The ship, operating just 4 nautical miles off the coast of Ras Laffan in Qatar, was struck by what officials described as an unidentified projectile. The impact raised immediate alarm across international shipping networks. Maritime authorities confirmed the incident, noting that the vessel had been hit near Ras Laffan Industrial City, an area widely regarded as one of the most critical nodes in the global energy system. Despite the severity of the strike, all crew members were reported safe. The attack was not an isolated event. Just hours earlier, Iran had launched missile strikes targeting Ras Laffan itself. The industrial city is home to the world's largest liquefied natural gas processing and export facilities, forming the backbone of Qatar's energy sector and a key supplier to global markets. The strike resulted in fires and extensive damage, according to official statements, though the full extent of the destruction remains under assessment. The Qatari government responded sharply, describing the incident as a direct violation of its sovereignty and a threat to regional stability. Diplomatic tensions escalated almost immediately, with Doha ordering Iranian military and security officials to leave the country within 24 hours. The sequence of events highlights a dangerous pattern. Energy infrastructure is increasingly becoming a frontline target in geopolitical conflict. Earlier the same day, another vessel was struck near the United Arab Emirates. Authorities confirmed that a projectile hit a ship approximately 11 nautical miles east of Khor Fakkan, igniting a fire on board. While the crew managed to contain the blaze, the incident added to growing fears about the safety of commercial shipping in the region. Together, these attacks mark a significant escalation in threats to maritime security, particularly in waters connected to the Strait of Hormuz, one of the most vital oil transit routes in the world. At the heart of this unfolding crisis lies Ras Laffan itself. The industrial complex is not just another energy facility. It is a strategic hub that processes natural gas from the North Field, part of the largest known gas reservoir on Earth, shared with Iran's South Pars field. From this single location, nearly 1/5 of the world's liquefied natural gas is produced and exported. Every year, hundreds of LNG tankers pass through Ras Laffan's terminals, carrying fuel to markets across Asia, Europe, and beyond. Any disruption here has immediate ripple effects across global supply chains. This is precisely why analysts describe Ras Laffan as more than infrastructure. It is a global energy lifeline. The attacks come in the context of a rapidly intensifying conflict between Iran and a coalition involving Israel and the United States. The immediate trigger appears to be the assassination of Ali Larijani, one of Iran's most powerful political and security figures. Larijani, who served as secretary of Iran's Supreme National Security Council, played a central role in shaping the country's military and strategic policies. His death in an Israeli airstrike has been widely interpreted within Iran as a direct attack on the core of its leadership. His assassination has ignited both public outrage and political resolve. In Tehran, massive crowds gathered to mourn his death. Streets were filled with demonstrators expressing grief, anger, and defiance. The atmosphere quickly transformed from mourning into a call for retaliation. Iranian leadership wasted little time in responding. A senior figure declared, "Every drop of spilled blood comes at a price." The statement signaled a clear shift toward aggressive retaliation and set the tone for what followed. Within hours, missile strikes were launched across the Gulf. Ras Laffan became one of the primary targets, underscoring a deliberate strategy to strike at economic and energy assets rather than purely military ones. By targeting infrastructure that fuels global markets, Iran demonstrated its ability to influence not just regional security, but international economic stability. The implications of this strategy are profound. Energy markets are already reacting. Oil prices have surged sharply, with analysts warning of further increases if disruptions continue. Gas supplies, particularly LNG shipments, face uncertainty, raising concerns about shortages in energy-dependent regions. Europe and Asia, both heavily reliant on Qatari gas exports, are especially vulnerable. Even limited disruptions can trigger cascading effects. impacting everything from electricity generation to fertilizer production and industrial manufacturing. Economists warn that prolonged instability in the Gulf could lead to sustained inflationary pressures worldwide. The attacks also highlight the vulnerability of maritime routes. The Strait of Hormuz, located near Ras Laffan, is one of the most critical choke points in global trade. A significant portion of the world's oil and gas flows through this narrow corridor. Any escalation that threatens shipping lanes could have immediate and severe consequences. Security experts are now raising alarms about the potential for further attacks on commercial vessels. The dual strikes on ships near Qatar and the way suggest a widening scope of operations, one that extends beyond fixed infrastructure to mobile targets at sea. This evolution increases unpredictability and complicates efforts to ensure maritime safety. Meanwhile, geopolitical tensions continue to rise. Qatar's decision to expel Iranian diplomats marks a significant diplomatic rupture. Other Gulf nations have also expressed concern, with some taking precautionary measures to secure their own energy facilities. At the same time, international actors are closely monitoring developments. The United States has issued strong warnings, signaling that further attacks on energy infrastructure could provoke a direct response. This raises the risk of a broader confrontation involving multiple regional and global powers. In Tehran, the mood remains one of defiance. Public demonstrations continue, reinforcing the government's narrative that retaliation is both justified and necessary. The death of Larijani has become a rallying point, uniting different factions under a common cause. The symbolism of the strikes is as significant as their strategic impact. By targeting Ras Laffan, Iran sent a message that it can project power beyond its borders and strike at the economic heart of its adversaries. It also signaled that no critical infrastructure in the region is beyond reach. This marks a turning point in the conflict. Previously, much of the confrontation had been confined to military targets and localized engagements. The shift toward energy infrastructure represents a broader and more dangerous phase, one that directly affects global markets and civilian economies. Analysts warn that this escalation may not stop here. Future targets could include additional energy facilities, shipping routes, and even military installations across the region. Each new strike increases the risk of miscalculation and further escalation. The situation remains highly fluid. Emergency response teams continue to assess damage at Ras Laffan, while maritime authorities are issuing updated advisories to vessels operating in the Gulf. Insurance costs for shipping through the region are expected to rise, reflecting increased risk. Global leaders are calling for restraint, but the path to de-escalation remains uncertain. The combination of political tensions, military actions, and economic stakes creates a volatile environment where even a single incident could trigger a broader conflict. For now, the world watches closely. The fires at Ras Laffan serve as a stark reminder of how interconnected global systems have become and how quickly regional conflicts can ripple outward. At its core, this crisis is about more than territory or power. It is about control over resources, influence over global markets, and the balance of power in one of the most strategically important regions on Earth. As tensions continue to rise, one question looms large: how far will this confrontation go, and what will it cost the world?